We're on now. This is the third game for Sins, who is the current king of the hill. If he can win here, he's going to outlast Mini. It's been Protoss domination for this king of the hill. Funny, we've had Light pretty much crush. Most of the king of the hills we've done. We did have a brief period where Queen and Snow were doing well, but now it's about Sins and Mini. Nobody's managed to match the streak that Light has done, though.
No, and I doubt anyone will either. That was actually kind of abnormal.
That was astounding.
Yeah, yeah. Light is really good in those types of situations for whatever reason. Like, you know that Ultimate Battle thing where they play 9 maps? Light did better than Flash in that thing. Like, he ended up winning so many fucking matches in a row that I think that they actually just started using some other players or something. Like, it was absurd. It's 9 maps that you play, so it's like, you really gotta outplay someone. I can't even remember. I'm not even gonna quote how many that he won, but it was crazy.
Looks like we're gonna have a gate expand here for Sins.
Is he gonna scout though? No,
no.
The new meta.
This is so weird. I'm gonna now, after this is done, try to ladder and lose all my games because of this.
Yeah, Lings are gonna run up and you'll be like, wait, what? Fuck. And it is pool first. What is that? Is that 12 pool? No.
That looks like overpool.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, he scouts a little bit later is what he does. Look at this.
Yeah, scouting around
This
as
is-
well.
That's cool. So I guess he just doesn't feel like the probe has to get there that early. This is all very modern, by the way.
Yeah, the new scoutless gate expand. I guess on a 2-player map, it's not as impactful, the later scout, right? Because you know where they're at. Whereas on these 4-player maps, when we see people just not scout, it's kind of weird.
Right. Well, on a 2-player map, you're at least given the ability to confirm where they're at, right? Like, so he probably knows where this hatchery is going to be if it's overpool.
Yeah, exactly.
I can get an idea from there. Gas after that. Third hatch probably to come.
Look at that. Some fancy probe dance in there. Watches the drone go up towards that third base. Just going to keep the Zealot at home for now, it looks like.
And we don't have the gas taken yet. Now, again, we're in the era of mini PvZ, where basically a lot of Protosses have been getting gas right away and going for core and then forge afterwards. But Sins is going to keep it pretty standard here and basically just go for the forge into, core afterwards, gas a little bit later. So playing very safe.
Why would you say that is? Like, is he just not caught up on how to do that correctly? Do you think this is a good choice?
Well, I don't know. To be totally honest with you, it did seem like the games that Mini was winning, players were so completely caught off guard by what he was doing that he just won outright in so many games, Like, we saw players lose when speed lots just came across the map.
Yeah.
So I think he cut corners on such a level that people just weren't really ready for it. And I don't know how safe it actually is still. How many games did we cast of Zergs just Hydra busting people or Ling busting people? And then Mini managed to get away with the most greedy stuff ever.
I know, it's crazy.
I feel like we got to wait and see, how much more stuff is actually going to come here.
Yeah, I guess the ultimate test was when he fought Larva and just barely lost, right? So that was...
Right.
It's like, well, it seems like there is something to it.
And lost in a 2-gate, by the way. It wasn't like he lost because Larva had adjusted. Not that Larva couldn't adjust, but it's not like he lost because, Larva figured out how to stop the core play. It's just that, there was a two-gate proxy all in that basically made for an insane game. These Zealots are going to come around here. The Lings are zoning back the probe.
Ooh, look at this. He gets to the ramp. A lot of Zerglings coming up, but this is 5 Zealots. Look at that. The probe makes it.
Yeah,
that was... Dude, whoever is driving that probe should be in the Fast and the Furious. That was crazy.
This is a pretty big deal, actually, getting up here and getting this much damage off. Because you can put these Zealots in some very uncomfortable spots. Ling speed is done.
And he is going to try to get in on top of him. The probe actually goes way out of position there, not helping as much as it should be.
And, you know, eventually Zerg wins this fight, but, you know, at what cost? Another Zealot now headed into the main. The core is, in fact, pretty damn late. Doesn't look like he's going to get any workers with his Zealot. But, yeah, he forced a lot of Zerglings. There's only 5 drones right now at the natural. The Spire's been scouted, so you know what you're dealing with here.
There are so many Speedlings right now. He is going to go bust. 100% he's going to go try to bust. Shouldn't Sins kind of have an idea about that with the amount of lings he's seen?
No, I mean, he may try to bust, but I think...
You don't think he's gonna... Like, look how many lings he has! They don't scale.
Is he still making lings, though?
Dude,
Oh, I guess he's going to go lings into Muta, maybe?
Yeah.
Thing is, you got to make a lot of lings with an attack like that. But, I mean, the cannons are well placed, man.
Dude, he has 24... Excuse me, about 22 or 24 lings right now. That feels so bad if he doesn't do anything with them.
Well, I mean, there's not a lot he can do, right? I mean, it's actually, there's not really anything to Protoss holding this once you have cannons that are up, right? Even the cannons that are placed here are placed pretty smartly in the back. One Dragoon comes out now to try to snipe any Overlord that might scout, and he's going for 1 gate Sair with air weapons.
Yeah, I think he needs to, right?
I mean, basically, Sin's position is one where he says, all right, I mean, I've got more workers, man. He made probes the entire time. He hasn't stopped. If you look at how probe rich these patches are, it's insane. Back here at the Zerg, you know, he's starting to get the, you know, the macro engine going. He's getting there, but he's going to be playing from behind for a long time. And so Zerg can't really hurt Protoss. I mean, those Zealot rushes can be kind of confusing to the uninitiated because they look like the Protoss just threw Zealots away, right? Like they came in there and then they got killed off. But then when you go back and realize Protoss can make probes the whole time, while Zerg had to, you know, basically Zerg's like driving a stick. You know, they have to shift out of this and make lings and then shift back and make drones. Zerg survives that and has lings that don't have any use, while Protoss is developing very comfortably. +1 weapons. We're going to have the Citadel of Adun done here. More pylons are coming down. Development is all coming together here for Protoss.
Yeah, it is looking quite nice, isn't it? Well, he's got 2 gates, so it's time to take a 3rd, right?
You know, with that core style, it does seem like you can. I don't know if you can if you go for the forge opening like that.
Yeah.
And then try to play a game from there.
By the way, I gotta say, I feel like watching this, I really like what Hero did. Like, he didn't do the ling bust that I thought he was going to do, but at home, like, I think he looked at it and said, well, you have to mass cannon, which did happen, right? 2 cannons in each mineral line, a couple cannons at the front. And he's just gone mass hatchery behind this and droned non-stop. He literally didn't make any more units other than a couple Scourge. Feels really smart from Hero, because now his economy is actually all 9.
Yeah, Hero's getting where he needs to be. We're going to have probably 8 gateways made here for Protoss. This is sort of the idea behind any of these builds where you get the defense up and you can get all the tech you need and basically power up. Okay, wow. He did not expect these mutas to be out here.
I didn't either.
Now, this is one of the things that it doesn't seem like Protosses have figured out what to do. Is like, how do I say this? You think that there's no threat of mutas, right? Because they stop and then they later on make a bunch of mutas, and you only have 3 Corsairs, which actually doesn't beat this many mutas to begin with, right?
Yeah.
Just because the mutas don't come initially. It's kind of like what Protosses do to Terrans, where they fly into the base later on with shuttles and reavers, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Like the delayed shuttles are actually some of the hardest.
Right. Same thing with the mutas. Hey, Todd, thank you for the sub, buddy. Miss you, man. Sorry alerts are off, everybody.
All right, well, I mean, he has a couple High Templars in here. He has a decent amount of Dragoons. 3 Corsairs in here as well, looking to put some damage on. Lings threaten to go in, but don't quite go.
So this is kind of a funny one. There's more Dragoons than I would expect, and not that many Templars. There's like 2 Templars out right now. feel like you normally have a little bit more here. The backup pylon is going to keep everything powered.
Fourth base being taken by Hero. I assume he's about to switch into heavy hydras, right?
Yeah. No, for sure that's what's coming. The idea is, and you know, you can do it in either order, really. You can either go for lots of hydras and then do mutas later. You can go for mutas and then do hydras later. And if you don't have enough Corsairs, the only other easy way to deal with it is to like maybe make a Dark Archon and try to catch these, right?
Yeah.
But if you already have the air weapons and you have some Corsairs, make some more Corsairs, and then try to punish them for going for the Mutalisks. And a lot of times you want to treat the Corsairs like they're just part of your army. But you really need to make sure that they're actually protecting the Templars. And as scary as this is for the Protoss, it's very difficult to pull off here for the Zerg, because if you miscontrol the mutas, they all disappear to the Corsairs.
Well, looks like Sin's coming out across the map right now. A lot of Zealots and High Templars coming up behind.
It almost seems like he kept... Sorry, go ahead.
He actually has 10 gates. Is that a thing?
I like it. Yeah, if you can't expand, you got to make more gates.
Damn.
You expand later. I mean, you would ideally want to take, you know, your base on 8 gateways. But in this case, it's like, well, I just, you know, I had money and I can't make the Nexus, so you're just going to get it a little bit later here. I think Sins is actually being pretty smart in how patient he is here by just basically not pushing out. In fact, I think he hid the Templars in the back for a little bit, hoping the mutas would come in and search too hard to find the Templars and not get anything and basically die out. And so Hero's gonna dive on this third, but look at this. Sins is not going to take the bait.
Yeah.
He is just gonna come in here and he is going to completely wreck this base.
Yeah,
and here's the thing, dude. Protoss is kind of okay being on 2 bases for a long time if the Zerg's only on 3. There's a lot more anxiety for the Zerg here, being low on economy. Now, we got the mutas coming in, and we got to see, can he snipe the Templars?
Oh, the Corsairs coming up. They do get scourged a little bit. Those High Templars starting to fall. Oh, my God.
He killed every High Templar.
Did he storm it all?
He needs to book it. I think we saw one, but it wasn't, like, of any significance here.
My God. That seems like a huge mistake. Corsairs come back with the mutas, get pulled back. He's killed the 4th base, but, I mean, after that, losing all those High Templars, who's actually ahead here? I feel like Hero's fine.
No, I think Protoss is ahead.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, if you just keep beating each other down, the Protoss, and this is why those other gates are very important, right? It's not that many Hydras, right? Oh God, it's actually a lot more than I realized as I scroll down here. But I think if he gets more Templars and Zealots, he can be okay. Let's see here. There's more Zealots coming out. Yeah, I think actually he's all right. It's not pretty. Again, Muta's hitting these Templars, but I think because the 4th base was shut down.
Well, still more Hydras are coming, Tastosis. Did you know that they cost 75-25 in 1 supply?
Yeah, they're pretty good units, huh?
They are.
There's a Templar on the bottom!
Oh, man. Just no storms really getting off for poor Sins here.
Zerg needs this to work, by the way. Zerg really needs this attack to work. Because if it doesn't, yep, that's going to be it. He wins. If it doesn't, the game ends. But yeah, losing those Templars, man, you were right, Artosis. I think I projected my own games onto that one. I'm like, no, this is fine. Yeah, you got to keep those Templars safe. It was a pretty neck-and-neck game, though, overall.
Yeah. It's too bad. Like, if he had gotten some storms off there, like some high-quality storms against some of the Hydras, traded just a little bit better, I don't think that the following Hydra bus kills his army and takes out his 3rd base. So it feels like... It actually felt in a lot of ways like Sins... Like, definitely could have won that game. And then you look at his play in some of these other games against Mini, it was very decisive, very well done. Against Royal, he got a bit behind, but fought back very well. And eventually Royal did throw it, and then he kind of threw a little bit there against Hero without the storms, or got caught off guard, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Sins played very well, though. It was a nice run.
You need to have a few storms, even maybe just one. Like just one good storm, two good storms that kind of forces Zerg to run. They eat a little bit too much damage. So Dragoon shots pick off a few more, and then you might be okay. You know, had Hero not made that attack work, it could have been much worse for him. But he did deny the Protoss' third. The Mutas were too high in number. They kept picking off Templars, and that was that. Should we go into the final game? Do we have time for a final game?
Yep, we got time for one more here today.